Alright, I'm Colin and this is Shawn Automotive, and in today's episode we're back on with a TT and we're doing something. I haven't decided what we're doing yet, so I'm going to scratch my head because it's nice and early in the morning, work out what I'm going to do. Think I'm going to do the sills, but I ain't too sure yet. So have a brew and then we'll just jump into it. Hope everyone's staying alright. It's simple as that. If you know nothing about this build, where have you been? That's all I'm going to say. In the last episode, we've got the outer skin connected to the inner skin of the TT along the top, and we stopped there. We've got the sills to work out. The sills that we've got won't span the distance, so I might just get the front part of the sill on and look on getting all this tied in, doing that side and that side. The windscreen, I've been looking at Mark 3 Escorts. There's a place in Leeds which isn't very far away from us is doing them. I'm just trying to find the dimensions, so I'll put a picture up of a Mark 3 Escort now and you can compare, and they're very, very similar. The glass for the tailgate, so what you can all do is you can all go outside and measure your old classic cars. I'd like to find some, obviously you've got the 4 corners, each corner, oh this is proper hard doing it, but each corner has got a roll, yeah, and it's not a bonded glass, it's just a glass on the rubber. Now that looks flat, but hang on, we'll turn this round, I'll have to use my nose. Right, so that's on the centre of the glass there, you see, so it's got a curve, very, very slight curve. Now the Escort Mark 3s might be the same on the tailgate, roughly. So if anybody's got a Mark 3 Escort, or their mate's got one, go and do some measurements for me, please. That would be wicked. Even go on and measure your glass. So like I said, if the glass is a little bit short, I don't mind, I'll bring it in. I can make these A-pillars wider, I can bring this down. Obviously we haven't cut the scuttle out yet of the TT because I want to build around the glass, you see, to suit. So when we cut the scuttle, we can add the original scuttle. This goes really far back before it goes into the cab, so we've got to about there we could bring stuff. So it's going to tie in pretty well, but I don't want to chop any of this out until we've got a screen to work off. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to jump in and tie the front of the sills up and get the A-pillars tied in to the TT. Right, so we've got these pair of new pattern sills. What we're gonna do is cut the sills off at that point, because that's where we'll have to be extending, but this is where we're gonna work, and we're just gonna bring the sill down ever so slightly and extend the sill and just bring it down to this lip. See, this lip we can trim down a bit, but I don't want to bring the sill right down because it'll give a massive look of a massive sill, but this is the only way that we can do this. I'll get all this acid etched today and all sealed up, and we'll be mounting the sill and the body kit. We're going to bring the body kit down to give some tomfoolery as well. So I'll jump in, stick it on a time lapse, get the sill chopped off there, and then we'll work out what we're going to do. Been getting Sam?
I just got myself some cling spar discs, mate.
Cling spar discs, man, very nice.
Yeah, got myself some new gloves.
Where did you get the gloves from?
Just a guy, I know.
Just a guy?
Yeah.
Is he a nice guy?
Well, he's alright.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can charge me for him.
Let's have a look at them. Oh. Time for your operation, Sam. Where's them gloves come from?
They've been from Wayne at TEC Products.
Wayne at TEC Products? Oh, look at them, go on, let's have a look at these gloves.
Do you know why they feel so much better? They weren't expensive.
Gloves at the moment are very expensive with the pandemic that's going on.
But he does have boxes and boxes of these.
Does he?
So if people want them.
Well, there's a link down below to TEC Products. Now, we get all our fixtures and fastenings sponsored for the channel, and they sponsors on the race car as well, which was brilliant what they did on the last round, paying for the fuel. They sent us out a new torch for the welder because our torch line has been getting a bit old, so they sent us a new star parts line, which is good enough for our welder, some new tips and a new shroud. So link down below to TEC Products. Get your gloves, he'll do you a cheap deal on your gloves. So whatever you're into, working on cars or getting kinky with your missus, whatever you're into, kinky with your boyfriend. I don't care what you're into. There's some gloves there. Thanks to TEC Products and thanks to Clean Sport UK as well for all our bits and stuff. This is one of them overlooked. Yeah, that's what I'll do and it'll work fine, and when it's come to it, it won't because it'll look a pig. So I'm just going to lower the sill down there, but that's going to look too big. What it's doing there, can you see, it's taking away the angle that the sill actually goes on that angle there. So I'm going to actually bring the sill up near enough to where it should be. I know we've got this massive lip here. I'm going to bring this down a bit so the original body kit will be lower down, which will go under there, and you will only see that, but you'll have to be proper down on the floor because it's going to be sat on its... Just watch what I'm doing. It's hard to explain. You'll see what's going on, but what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head over to John the Mongs and get some steel cut. So let's go. Jonathan? Something wrong?
Yeah.
Why, what's wrong?
Knocking now at front end.
You're joking? All right, John, how are you doing?
I'm alright, how's tricks?
Yeah, good, mate. I've got
made it in that car, did you?
Yeah, I've got some stuff for you to cut.
Have you?
Yeah. I'm having a nightmare with a sill. Not fun. These are my instructions. I'm sure you'll understand all that. So what's this? What are you building, John?
K2 Design and Fabrication's new doors for his workshop.
K2 Design and Fabrication, but John's making them. They look absolutely awesome. See, I could do all this down at the garage with a slitting disc, but it's probably quicker me flying up to John's because he's only around the corner and getting John to use his guillotine because, not being funny, you can get such a better cut. And that's it, that's the cut. Gone down the other side, but see how quicker that works.
Get your fingers in and you'll see it.
I'm not putting my fingers in there, mate.
What else do you need?
Another one, just so I can piece it in, and then one strip at 2 inch.
Another one at 3 inch to 2 inch.
Yes, please. Cut his finger off! See how good you can get that cut. It has a slight burr on it, which needs taking off, but nothing like if you do cut it with a splitting disc. Just saves me a lot of time getting all the bits I need. Just like that. Hey, I'll have that if it's for free. If it's free. Thanks, John. See you again. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. If you go in the link down below, you can get a not my job, not my problem. That's John's sticker, and then TEC Products that kindly give us our new Euro torch today.
This here as well.
Yeah. What is this?
CNC machine.
Yeah.
So you can...
What? Where do you get that from?
TEC Products.
That's wicked. What's that? What's that?
This
What's
is
that?
This here, earth clamp, but it turns off and on. So like, it's on there.
No way. I want one of them.
When you put it on here, you like get a load of stuff to it.
Oh, so if you've got a load
So
of...
it's all gunky, just turn it off and clean it.
Hey, that's good, that, like. If you've got somewhere hard to
Yeah,
get
if
out
you
of.
can't get onto something, or the box is too big and you can't get the earth clamp on. Luska.
I like that.
TEC Products, go see it.
He's on it today, isn't he?
300 and 600. He knows his stuff does well.
I am back from John's on full of fish and chips, as it was being a Friday. So I'm going to stick it on the time lapse now and work away because I've come up with a plan. I think I know what to do, but if I explain it and then I do totally opposite, I'm going to look like a muppet. And I'll just make it look better than the big gaping gash that it is. Gaping gash. I love that saying. so we're getting stuck into it now. I've got everything that I need. What I'm going to do with this quite heavy, thick steel I've got, before I put over the bit of sills, I'm going to make these plates, right? And I'm going to bring them down just a little bit and up, and that's going to be somewhere I can put the jack under. So then we're not pushing on the floor. We've just got a little bit coming down there. It's going to be nice to home the jack. Yeah, it still looks massive. I hope this works. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Let's have a look. So I've got that pieced in there. I ended up going behind it, and I'm going to drill a good load of puddle welds, probably about 5 in there, and then get that seated into there. Once that's seated on there, I can get into that top one up there and just bring that in. So I've got the inch welds along there. That's all nice and solid now, and then I will curve this front bit, so curve that in, lose what's behind, and then tidy up that. What I'm going to do now is drill a load of holes along here, space them out, puddle weld it up, that bit of sill where it bores down naturally, chop that out, and then that's going to be our flush sill. Even though it's massively low down, it'll look fine because we will lose it when we bring the sill down an inch. It'll become like that, and then when you're up looking at it, that's what you're going to see, because it's going to be low. But that's the only way we can do it. We couldn't have lowered the body down if you haven't seen it before, because we lose the main part, which is the clearance over the bulkhead. That's where we've had to make sure that's set right. If we'd have dropped it down, it would have been a nightmare, and it would have looked a pig round the window. So that was our initial starting point, was off this A pillar. It's going to look mega. I like the little jacking points there. It just gives it its own little thing just to help out as well. So yeah, I'll tidy up the sills now, drill some holes, get these filled and plugged, get it ground back. It's all these bits that take the time, but like in the community tab when we first built it, you want a detailed build. So we'll go through everything we do. So yeah, let's get that sill on.
To go on my mailbox Scotch socks after that abortion. That's a cool look, isn't it? Well, it's not even straight. That's bad, is that? It's nice.
Right. I'm not being funny. What are you doing? I'm trying to film my YouTube video for the weekend. What are you doing?
John's getting a tow bar on so we can start filming next.
So you're putting a tow bar on John's van?
Just so you can hold some mats.
John the Mong's van?
Yeah,
nice.
So when I go down to TEC Products for all my freebies, they all fit in the trailer.
I see.
With that many of them.
Nah, I like it. I'm glad I've got it on a time lapse, because they're going to be making a racket. So let's just carry on with the sill. So that's sort of what I'm trying to get. That'll be cleaned back underneath and then done it in each stone chip. But that is the only way we're going to get it. Because if we drop it too far down, it's going to look a pig here. So that's the sort of illusion that we'll get. And you can imagine when that's sat down on the car, that's what you're going to see. What do you reckon?
No comment.
Oh, go on, what would you do? Right, so this bit that's coming up now is me and John discussing. Well, John's come up with an idea. Now, I left the camera rolling so you have a bit of an understanding of how long we actually spend working out these little bits. If you like this sort of content that's about to come, please let me know. If you don't, I won't put it in again. If you want to see more of it, let me know. I need your feedback. You'd make a big ass metal body kit for it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Should we do it?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why. Because it's not in keeping of what we're trying to do.
Well, it looks just like that, but it'd be steel, wouldn't it? You make it just like that.
But you'd have a bit more of a slope, so you could bring it from there down round and then back on itself and make just a nice chunky panel you can just put on, feed into it. But you've got the idea of it there, haven't you?
Could we do something that would actually tie in with the original arches?
How long is it?
It's that long. That's how long it would have been before it connected with the arches.
Yeah, but you now need to make it longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how long does it need to be?
Let me get some arches.
Oh, 1.5.
Like you say, fabricating an arch sill like that.
It might fit.
Well, it will. There's now to alter at the front. That's everything I've done at the back.
What was your idea?
Not a lot, really. I've got a fiberglass guy that's offered to make me a kit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what the manifest offer.
But then I didn't know I was trying to get 3D printed, you see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the front's going to stay the same. That needs to be down because it's designed to go under the sill, you see.
Yeah.
So when I've got to drop this down, so this arch might have to come down a bit.
What I've done, same as that. So that sits in there like that.
So you're saying keep it in its original
place.
The thing is, I've only tacked that sill on, so I could take that sill back up to its original point. That sill there.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because all you do is just open that up like that, wouldn't you? And that's when you just open it down to that point, you'll be a little bit more good, I think. Nice f***ing steel silver there.
You could join it into there at the front normally, and then you could lose it all the way into the back one, couldn't you? Because don't forget, that comes a lot forward there, doesn't it? So then you could,
You're gonna make it.
you could even just put a straight bead down it, couldn't you?
Yeah, slap it over.
No, you'd leave a gap in between, so you had like something like that going on. You know, you put something behind it, and then you put your own swage line into it. But I'm going to weld that still on, you see. If we'd have put that down all the way, it's just going to, that bit's going to look massive, isn't it?
Yeah, but with that as a bit of a skirt coming out and then looking in like that, you won't see it with a skirt on. When you're stood up looking down,
It's
you have
gonna
to
be low.
physically be like that.
Yeah,
to
100%.
see it. Whereas look, if you go out that far, you ain't going to see it. It'll look fucking mean, won't it, with some skirts on.
Yeah, but do you think I can bring that back up to its original point?
No, what I do is just have that opened up a little bit, so it goes into there like that. Measure them 2 points there. And that's on there like that. Yeah, 120.
Can you fold that in that 4 stages?
Yeah, well, I should be able to, because that'll be actually like that. There'll be like 2 folds like that.
Yeah, and how would we fix it onto the car?
Well, I'd stitch it on me, like.
Yeah, well, I don't want to weld it on. I want the gaps and the lines like you'd have, yeah.
But how do they fasten onto the car?
They go into the car.
Also, they just pop in.
Yeah, but you can buy all that them stuff there, like a little black grommet that you can put on. It's a good idea, that, like, because then we're getting the length, so I don't have to be messing about trying to widen that.
Only thing you could do is maybe return fold that bit there, so you have something to
Put them tabs onto.
Yeah.
You put them tabs onto wherever you want. I'm going to buzz them holes up, because them holes won't line up where
And
we
then
need
the bottom bit, if I just put a return fold on there, you just put the ball straight through that sill, couldn't you?
Yeah, you
I
could.
just stitch it on me, like.
Yeah, but you're going to see stitching here, aren't you? When we put the sill on, I want the sill to look as factory as possible.
With a mat, with a thing like that.
Yeah, basically this is a line. That literally just is one of them double-sided adhesive tapes, and then them. But they only screw in. I'm sure they screw in. Could get a kit and we could fix them onto the sill, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Just looks like a Frankenstein abortion. But I think John's come up with the right idea. Is to refabricate this sill, but make it bigger, make it out of steel. So it's still in the same lines, which won't affect too much modification on the arches, but bringing this out on an angle more, and then with a small fold at the end. That'll be longer, come down there. That'll do pretty good with the tomfoolery, so I shall continue. Shut the phone up, ringing it to Friday. I weld the sill on, dress them spot welds down flush, so I will keep scratching my head and stick it on a time lapse. Well, I tell you what, if that does not look like a Frankenstein build right now, I do not know. I hope the end result of this looks all right. There we go. That's the first part of the sill sorted out. We've got to start addressing these corners, tying all this in. I'm going to cut this shape. I'm going to cut like a round that off, and I'm going to chop that off, and I'm going to start plating up here and get that tied in. We will be putting the original Audi wheel arch line in and fabricating it hopefully, so then we ain't getting any muck or crap up in there as well. So yeah, very nice. I've had another change of plan, right? So I was going to leave them tidy them out and plate it all up. I'm going to plate this all up now. Dress that back and stitch that in. It probably was still spotted there, but to be safe, get some extra welds on there. This is where I'm going to start tying in, coming round here, and I'm going to box it all the way off. Just below there for the time being, because we don't know what we're doing at the top, and then I've got something to piece in there. But with this, you see, this piece of metal slid behind there, and I'll get it to go in there. I might level it up, it might go. It's gonna go. So I'll just tap that through there, weld that up solid, and then maybe put a little bit of a fold in here. I'll see. Basically, still gonna give us a movement. Very hard to do all this one-handed. Basically, it's still gonna give us our movement, right? These will still go up and down, left and right, etc. But they won't. Oh no, they're falling in and you can't get to them because I'm about to block this off. Then I'll spray a load of acid etching before I block it off around there, and wax oil in everything when I get round to it, injecting in all the nooks and crannies. So yeah, I'll stick it back on a time lapse, probably straighten that all up. I'll have a test fit now, and I'll get that one and that one done, and then we'll just continue working away. Right, that's all tied in. Tied up there, need to dress that back, and it's tied up there, which is really bad bit of welding because I didn't clean the paint back first, so luckily I can grind that out. So there we go, that one's done. I'll jump in and do that one now, and then we'll get this bit tied in. Woohoo! Right, I've tied all this in, and for some reason the time lapse didn't work. I'm just editing the footage now, so let's go back to it. Right, this side is all tied in now. We've tied it in to the TT, and the A-pillar is proper tied in. Now, I don't know what's happened with these holes here. That might have been when me and John took the body off. So when I get the door offered up, I'll see if I can clean this off, take this off, and I'll put a nice strip in there. Then we can lose that in. But I think, in all fairness, thinking on now, and that's where the wing spot welded onto. So it might go over there and cover, so I don't have to mess around. I'll just cover it over. All this will get seam sealed. I'll get welded in there, but I'm just waiting on until we work out what we're doing with here. So I've just left that off just in case I need to cut along here or anything. But when that's all done, this will be all cleaned back. It'll have seam sealer in here. Everything will be all cleaned off. The suspension components and all that will be stone chips. Same as along down the sill as well, and obviously we're making that steel sill to match in with the original arches, putting it on a bigger taper because it tapers off. You're not going to see how big the actual sill is, as I've said probably about 15 times in this video. Yeah, so I've tied that in, ground that off, and that'll be all sealed up. I've just offered the wing up to it. Just got a little adjustment to do on the wing where we've dropped the sill down a bit. Been editing the footage in the office, and I've just realised for some reason there isn't a time lapse of me putting this on. So I'll make sure we do the time lapse of that going on the other side. So what we'll do now is we'll have a quick tidy up of this. We'll drop it down, chuck the door on, chuck the wing on, and the arch, offer it up so you can sort of get a visual aspect of what it's looking like. Right, so I've got it on the deck, and I've roughly clamped the wing on and the arch. Now it's all sort of looking together. It's looking pretty mega. Look at that. Obviously the wing's just, you know, nothing's lined up. It's just on to sort of start getting the look. So I'm buzzing with that. Happy days. Right, so on that note, it's Saturday now. And obviously I worked on it all day yesterday, and I've done a load of work on it this morning. I've still got to edit the video. I can't work on it 7 days a week, 5 days a week like I'd like to, because I've got to earn a living, earn some money, and YouTube just doesn't pay it enough. We have a Patreon account if you want to go join that, and that would help out, and we've got a load of merch. Tell all your friends. The bigger the channel gets, the more stuff we can do, so you'd see a lot more progress each week. But obviously these little bits take time, because if you don't get it right now, the end result, it'll look terrible. So I'll see you in the next one. I've been Colin. Bye now.
You'll have to turn that one out.
Depends what you're going to do to me wagon on Friday.